Will our advanced spiritual thinking give us the ability to analyze information better, to process the many ideologies that sustain various societies around the world?
We have to examine what it is like to be spiritual first. There are many things spiritual. There is a spiritual message that you receive from nature because you are pure. Why does this happen? There is something inside of your body called the spirit or soul, and this spirit is non-material energy. Spirit is non-material energy. Let me explain it in detail so that you can understand. What type of energies are there in grand nature? Heaven, earth, and humans. There exist the energies of heaven, earth, and humans. These three types of energies are in operation in grand nature. In the supernatural universe, these three energies exist. They are operated by the law of grand nature. The energies of heaven and earth are what we call heaven and earth. Then, what are the heaven and earth? They signify the physical and non-physical. Heaven is the non-physical and the earth is the physical. But does the non-physical heaven really not hold any material substance? This non-physical material is still a material substance. But because it is a superfine structure, the current science is unable to measure and recognize it as a material substance. On Earth, the physical material is in a state where we can measure its existence. This is why we call heaven and earth separately. However, both heaven and earth are one and not separate. These substances exist on their own. They change and disintegrate depending on the circumstance. Then there is the energy of human beings. A human being is a mixture of non-material and material. What do we call the pure non-material substance of a human being? It is called a spirit, a soul, yourself. You are an element of the spirit, soul energy, before you were born as a human. It is non-physical. This non-material is yourself. The flesh, created with physical substance, is also an energy. The energy of the physical body is made up of the energies of heaven and earth. And when the soul energy combines with these two energies, form a human being. I announce today the highest and the most advanced spiritual thing of all. The highest form of a spiritual thing is called knowledge. Knowledge. Knowledge is an accumulation of spiritual energies. This is non-material spiritual energy. This is knowledge. Knowledge is not something animals like dogs, pigs, or horses can make. Only humans can produce knowledge. So, if we assume that the knowledge level is 100, what do we call when the knowledge level reached is 30%? We don't call it knowledge, but say that logic has been formed. Logic. Its quality of energy is not enough to be called knowledge yet. However, when it surpasses 30%, then it can be considered knowledge. As our ancestors have lived countless lives to develop and accumulate knowledge, we are now in a society where its quality of energy has reached 70% and the development of knowledge has been completed.
이것이 지식이 완전하게 생산됐다. 이렇게 되는 거죠. 그래서 60%가
The complete knowledge was reached at 60%, and the transitional 10% period created common general knowledge.
그래서 이것이
Once knowledge reaches 70%, all knowledge has been produced. Therefore, the world operates through this knowledge.
그래서 이것이 지식은
So who created this knowledge?
인간이 만들었어요.
Human beings created it.
비물질 에너지,
The non-mature energy souls produced it.
영혼과 인간 육신을
The combination of the soul and the human body created it.
소중한
Therefore, this is very
이
valuable.
지식 에너지를 앞으로
Depending
어떻게
on how we
쓰느냐가
use this knowledge,
이루어져도
we can
이루어져요.
even achieve world
이
peace.
지식을 내동댕이에
If
치고
this
다
knowledge is
부숴놔도
abandoned and misused, mankind will turn into destruction because of this knowledge.
이 지식이 엄청난
When we
에너지를
realize that
가지고
knowledge
앞으로 어떻게
contains an
쓸 것이냐.
enormous quality of energy and use it wisely, this knowledge can shine.
그래서 지혜를
Thus, this thing that instills us wisdom is called Bob, the law, also known as the truth.
진리는 하늘의
Truth
힘이요,
is the
자연의
power of
힘이요.
heaven and grand nature,
지식은 우리가
while
스스로
knowledge is
배양한
the power
힘이다.
that we develop
이것이
on our
하나가
own.
됨으로써의
When they become one,
이것이
it will shine,
빛을
operate
일으키고
everything in unity,
모든 것을
and bring
운용하고
us
평안을
world
이루어내게
peace.
되다 있다. 그렇게 해서
By
모든
doing so,
꿀이 소멸되고
all our
우리
karma
영혼들이
will disappear,
맑아져서
our
우리는
souls
천상으로
purified,
올라가게 돼 있다.
then we all ascend to heaven.
이렇게 되는 거예요.
This is how it works.
요까지 해놔놓고 우리
With
영적인
that
걸
being
이야기하자.
said, now let us talk about
우리가
spiritual
영적이
things.
맑아지는 것은
What is spiritually
풀잎이
pure?
영적이 맑습니다.
A blade of grass is spiritually pure.
풀잎이 영이 맑다.
Spirit of grass leaf is pure.
자연적으로
It
우리가
holds the power
소통하는
of communicating with nature.
나무가
Trees have
영적인 힘이
clean
많습니다.
spiritual energies.
자연의 모든
Don't you
기운을
see
읽을
the
수
grass
있는
leaf in nature that
자연의
can read
풀잎을
all
보지
the energies
못하느냐.
of great nature?
씨앗을 보지
Don't you
못하느냐.
see the seeds?
이런 것처럼
Like this,
인간도
humans can also
깨끗할수록
feel spiritual
자연의
energies from
영적인
nature
것을
as we
우리는
become
접할 수
spiritually
있게
pure.
돼 있었던 것이다. 그래서 보통 보면
That is why
흑인 사회에서
black people in general
영적인
have
것을
received
많이
many
접하고
spiritual
있었던
messages.
왜?
Why?
맑고 깨끗함.
Because they are spiritually clean and pure.
그렇게 했었던 것이
However,
지식이
as knowledge
일어나면서
advances
지식이
and
세상을
operates the world,
움직이니까
and since pure spiritual energy
영적인
does
힘이
not hold any
우리는
physical
맑고
force,
영적인 힘은
black people
이것은
have been
무력으로
alienated from
존재하지 않기
society.
때문에. 거기에서 우리가 소외됐던 것입니다. 그런데 앞으로의 지식인들이 성장을
When the
해갖고
intellectuals grow and manage the power of grand nature, those with pure spiritual energies will be able to participate in a certain line of work.
일어나는데 동참하게 될 것이고 깨끗한 사람들이
By sharing their
그런 것들을
clean
같이
spiritual energies
공유함으로써
together, they will be
이것은
of great
우리
help to the
지식인들이
intellectuals.
사는 데에 큰 힘이 될 것이다. 뭐 흑인들이 우리가
Then will the black people bring together their spiritual powers and take over the white people?
그거는 영적인 힘.
That is not spiritual power.
영적인 힘은
Spiritual
깨끗하게
power
받을 수
comes
있는
from
그
being able to
자체라야
receive information from nature,
이것을
and the
응용해서
people who
쓰는
can
거는
utilize this
지식인들이
power
하는 것이고
are the
도인들이
intellectuals and doins, also known as fully
응용을
mature
어떻게 써서 쓰느냐가
intellectuals.
중요한 것이지.
Simply receiving the spiritual
영적인
energy
거는
is not
우리가
what it is all
접한다고
about.
해갖고 이거는 다가 아니다 이 말이죠.
What's
접해서
more important is how to
이걸
apply and
풀어서
use this.
쓰는 거는 도인들이 하는
Doins
것이다.
know how to utilize these spiritual energies and messages. Doins are
내가
the
영을 좀
intellectuals.
받는다라고 해서
If you
무조건
think you're
내가
the best in the
내가
world for receiving such spiritual
최고냐한다라고
power, the time has
너는
come when
이
you begin to
지상에서
lose
힘을
power
쓸수
on
없는
this earth.
시대가 지금부터 열린다. 이러는 거죠. 영 받는 것은
Receiving a
아무것도
spiritual message is not a
아니고
big
그 받은
deal.
영을 어떻게
Knowing how to apply and
이게 중요해요.
utilize that spiritual energy is what is more important.
영 받는 것은
If there is no one who knows how to use it, then
네가
receiving
받아도
spiritual
자연에
message is
있는
useless. Even if you don't
네가
receive
안
it,
받아도
it continues to
영적인
exist in
힘은
nature.
이 자연 속에 있습니다.
Even if you don't receive it, spiritual power exists in nature,
그러나
and we can
이런
always
것들이
use it.
분류가 우리가
If
이런
there are a
영적을
kind of
접할 수
people who
있는
can
자들이
receive
있다면
spiritual energies,
깨끗함이 아직 살아
it
있음으로
means that their
이걸
spirits
앞으로
are still
어떻게
pure.
운용을 할 거냐는 지혜를
So,
가야 된다. 이
What they
말이죠.
should do is
그래서
to find
이
ways to
앞으로의
gain wisdom to utilize their
흑인
abilities.
사회들은 우리 흑인이다
Therefore,
이 소리를
I
떼서
suggest to the black community to abandon the phrase,
희생을
we
하면서
are
우리가,
black,
이러한 사회를
as a group of
만드는데
people
희생을
who
하는
sacrifice to create the
어떻게
current society.
앞으로 풀어가야
Ask yourself
되느냐를
what you can
물어야지.
do for a better
우리
future.
흑인 우울주의로
If you
가면
insist on the logic of black
영원히
supremacy, you
지배를
will
당할
forever be dominated and
싸움에서
never
못
win the
이깁니다.
fight.
지혜롭게
We must
풀어나가고
wisely solve the
우리는
problem
깨끗한 걸 살려내야
and
된다.
restore our soul purity.
그리고 이 사회는
And now,
이제
since the spiritual
지식이라는
energy
이름이 나왔기
of
때문에
knowledge has
에너지,
emerged in this society,
지식이라는
you
에너지가
have to be
나왔기
equipped
때문에
with fundamental knowledge.
기본적으로는 우리가 배우고 갖추어야 된다. 다는 갖출 필요
You
없다.
do not need to learn everything,
기본은 우리가 배우고
but
갖추어야
you should learn the basics at least to cooperate and work together with intellectuals.
배워야 돼.
Do learn,
모르면
have knowledge.
너희들은 힘으로
Physical
대항한다고
force
되는
is
게
no
아니다.
longer effective.
그러니까 앞으로
Whether
흑인
it is the
사회가
black
됐든
community
인류의
or
어려운
any
나라들이
country in the
됐든
world in hardship,
이분들이
if you ask for
우리를
guidance,
가르침을 달라라고
대한민국 or Korea
그걸
is
가르쳐줄
best
수 있는
qualified to
능력을
serve
최고로
that
다
job.
갖춰놓은 게 대한민국이다. 가르침을 주고
We have to
사람의
devise a
힘을
program that can educate people
그렇게 해서
and strengthen their own
국제 사회가
abilities
손발을
so that they
맞춰서
can
가는
work together for the
기획을
world community.
그 기획 프로그램을
A social
만들어서
structure that is
국제
a
사회와
win-win
같이
situation for all
윈윈하고
and is
서로가
beneficial to everyone
상생하며
must be
살아가는
made.
이런 구조를 지금 만들어가야 이것은
This
그렇게
is
어려운
not that
일은 아닙니다.
difficult.
힘에 대항을
There
한다면
is no
이거는 답이
solution
없어.
if you fight with physical force.
우리만
If you think
잘났고
you are better than
너희는
others
어렵다 그러면
and don't
그건
care
답이
about
없어.
others in
이건
need,
좌파, 우파가
then
아니야.
there is no answer to
이건
that
답이
thinking.
없고
This
이것은
will only
우리가
inflame
같이
the left and
살아가는
right
사회를
wings.
풀어나가야
There is
돼.
no solution from that thinking. We have to solve the problems of the global community together as one. Do you understand?